Hello and welcome to Highlander Newsroom, a program that discusses articles and issues covered in the Highlander newspaper at UC Riverside. My name is Madison Rheins, and I'm the editor-in-chief at the Highlander and your host for today. I'm joined by Amaray Alvarez, the assistant news editor, Ashley Chen, the features editor, Sam Lao, the radar editor, and Senna Omar, the assistant features editor. We have a few interesting topics lined up for discussion today, so let's go ahead and get started. First up is an article discussed by our editorial board on the banning of books in Texas. These books have been banned and condemned by parents as being pornographic. However, most of these books that are being banned are not pornographic. They just center around LGBTQ characters and critical race theory. So do you guys think these parents' arguments have any teeth, Amaray?
I think that obviously we should, to some extent, filter the content for children in school. Maybe if it is pornographic, then it shouldn't be shown, but I don't think that issues of LGBTQ community or race should be excluded. I don't think that those topics should be, I don't think that they're considered bad. I feel like they're important for people around this age period to learn about, and I feel like it'll help people be more accepting in the future.
Ashley?
I think I also agree with Amaray, also because now everyone depends on technology, so either way the younger kids or the younger generation are gonna know about it through their social media, since a lot of them have phones and stuff. So yeah, I don't think it's good to hide it right now, at this point.
And Sam?
I think that we definitely have to look at age groups, and that plays a factor. But if we're talking about, when we say children, older, people pushing towards their late teenage years and stuff, I think that it'd be a complete just mistake to kind of take away people's rights to look at what they want. And I feel like it's still, when it comes to literature, you can at least filter it out somewhat. I feel like Ashley said, with technology and stuff, that's just gonna make it worse. I feel like, you kids can easily hop on Google and then might be seeing things that are complete lie to what they actually wanted to learn about, and then it could cause a bigger problem, could cause more trauma. I think banning books for an older age group would be a complete mistake.
I think that there's so many other things that children have to worry about in schools, and that the government should be worrying about happening in classrooms in high schools and middle schools, that are so much more important than kids reading books about people of color and people who are gay. It makes absolutely no sense to me that lawmakers are worrying about books involving taboo topics, in quotes, rather than children literally getting shot in school. This makes no sense.
Yeah, definitely. And do you think these parents' arguments will affect young students in the future, Ashley?
Yeah, I definitely think it'll affect young parents in the future, just because I feel again, with technology, they're gonna find out either way, so there's no point in hiding it. So yeah.
Amaray?
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely think this effect on students, it's doing students a big disservice by banning these books and kind of arguing to ban these books, just because I feel like Sam said and everyone else said, banning these books for children who may need a safe space to learn about these things is doing them a disservice. It's better to learn these things in a safer, quieter environment. And who knows, some kids may be struggling with race and being gay at home in a place that's not as accepting. So libraries that have these books it's important that libraries have these books to give these students a safe place that may not be in their home to study. But yeah, our next article was written by Assistant Opinions Editor David Moreno, discussing Spotify's actions or lack of action in dealing with Joe Rogan and underpaying their musicians. What do you think should come next when dealing with Joe Rogan's podcast and podcasts in general? Amaray?
I feel like it's a little complicated because on one hand, people do want that freedom of speech, but then these companies like Spotify, they do have the right to censor what they want because they ultimately own their company. So I feel like if majority of the Spotify users and people who use that platform are against Joe Rogan, it doesn't align with the policies and mission statement of the company, then I think like they do have that right kind of to like remove him. And I feel like they haven't done anything because they don't want to lose those other like followers or subscribers who do support him. And then I think that they do need to pay their the artists more, because there are other streaming services, but Spotify is kind of the more like popular one. So they're kind of holding like that monopoly over them. So I feel like by giving them a pay increase, they won't be tempted to like leave Spotify or only exclusively use something like Apple Music.
Mm-hmm. Ashley?
Yeah, I think like Spotify does have to write at the end of the day, just because like it's their company, like the artists are like posting their songs in their like platform. So at the end of the day, like I think it's Spotify's like choice because it's their company.
Yeah, I definitely agree that Spotify has the power to remove these podcasts. And I personally think that they should remove these podcasts because they are very harmful. Sam?
Kind of trying to play devil's advocate. I feel like there's always two sides of the coin. And in this situation, no matter what, there will be some group of people, whether big or small, upset, whether they choose to remove it, whether they choose to keep it. I think it really just... whatever decision they make will definitely become the new face of their company and will become the new brand of their company, and that's their choice, and if that's what they choose to do, they should at least understand the consequences of their actions and how this will affect their image moving forward. When it comes to the underpaid artists, I feel like that's been an issue for quite some time now, and even big name artists have complained, and they have led the charge with this. I think that's something that definitely needs to be looked into, because I feel like these two problems go hand in hand, because both essentially set the image of the company, and this underpaid issue has been going on for years now. So is it really surprising that they also don't want to make a move on the podcast?
Yeah.
I think it's important that Spotify as a company needs to like take a stance, and by not doing anything about these podcasts, they're essentially taking a stance that's saying they're not going to police the kind of media that they're allowing onto their site, which is fine if they want to be known as a site that allows for anybody to come and like say whatever they want, sort of. Like, it's not a site, but a streaming platform. If they want anybody to come and say whatever they want. But it's just, like Sam was saying, it's a reflection upon the brand of Spotify. The people who post things to like podcasts and music and things like that, it's a reflection upon themselves. And on the issue of the artists being underpaid, I think that this is an issue in every single field. It's always a problem that people are not making enough money anywhere, no matter what they're doing. And as a whole, this problem really needs to be solved.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The fact that artists are being underpaid on Spotify compared to like their competitors, Apple Music and Tidal and Amazon Music, just kind of goes to show that Spotify only really cares about the money and not really about the information that they're putting out. And that's kind of like concerning, just because millions of people stream on Spotify. So it's concerning because they're reaching such a large, impressionable audience. They really need to be more careful with the information that they're putting out. And next up, we're covering an article. We'll be discussing an article written by a contributing writer, Kimberly Bajek. And she talks about the book of Boba Fett and how it came out. So, Sam?
Yeah, I actually, I watched the show. I was actually, like, timid about it in the beginning just because, sometimes when you take a great movie series and you try to spin off a show on it, sometimes it kind of ruins that image in your mind, and I was worried about that. But I feel like the Star Wars franchise did really well with The Mandalorian, and so I eventually gave this show a chance to... I didn't really want to wait the episode per week, so I was letting them pile up. But I enjoyed it. I thought the plot was nice. I thought it really set up... I think they set up themselves to do anything they want in the future, and I think that was super cool. I know that they left multiple avenues open to give themselves an opportunity to maybe branch out, maybe start a new movie trilogy. They just finished up the most recent trilogy, so like I feel like I'm very excited to see where the direction will head moving forward.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, and I haven't really seen The Mandalorian, but I heard a lot of good things. I heard a lot of positive things about it, so maybe one day I will get around to watching it. Amaray?
I actually haven't seen them either. I haven't seen Boba Fett. I'm not the biggest Star Wars person, but I know that I have heard good reviews, and this is a big thing for Disney Plus because it started off like as a streaming service with their other like already made shows, but now they're kind of transitioning into making content specifically for that instead of just like on the Disney Channel. And I know like I watched the Marvel shows like the What If or the Loki show, and I like those, so I think it's a good concept to keep like building these franchises.
Definitely. Ashley?
Yeah, I personally never watched it too, like even though I have Disney Plus, but like it's definitely on my list right now. That like especially because I've heard so many good reviews on it. But yeah.
Yeah. Sina?
I've also never watched it. I've also think I've only watched like one of the Star Wars movies. It's like the new one that came out recently. It's the only one I've ever seen. But honestly, I might have to check him out now.
So, Sam, since you are the only one who watched the Book of Boba Fett, what would you say is your verdict for the show?
I think it starts really slow, insanely slow, for the first few episodes, but you gotta push through those, and it comes to fruition in the end. It's definitely worth it. I don't know spoilers for me. I hate spoilers, so I will just say that. It will, at the end of things, once you finish the series, you will realize it was worth it. But in the beginning, you're kind of gonna be pulling your hair.
Okay, that's interesting. That's definitely good to know. I hate when shows start off really slow. I feel like I lose focus, and it loses my attention like within the first like 20 minutes. I'm really impatient. I always like to see action happening, so I'll keep that in mind when I eventually watch this. And then next up is an article written by our contributing writer. It's about Valentine's Day secret menu. And personally, I haven't tried the Valentine's Day secret menu things at Starbucks. And this is for Starbucks. But yeah, they did sound good, especially the pink drink mixed with like all of those different syrups. However, I'm a bit concerned that all of these drinks sound really, really tooth-achingly sweet. So I don't really know, like, I personally have never tried the secret menu items, but if I were to try something, it would probably be the pink drink with the raspberry infusion. I think that'd be really cute. Amaray?
So I haven't tried any of the Valentine's Day ones, but I've tried a few other like secret menu hacks or whatever at Starbucks, and I do like them. I know for some people though, it can be a little embarrassing, like going up and asking for too many items or being too specific. A lot of people kind of get anxious. I remember like people used to make like little Pinterest posts like, if you want a churro frap, like order this. So that's what it makes me think of. I liked when people had pictures and could show like the exact ingredients.
Definitely when you're ordering secret menu items or anything like that, I would definitely recommend being super patient and super nice with your baristas, as I'm pretty sure like hearing your order will probably give them a headache. But Ashley?
Yeah, I've tried like a few secret menu items like in the past, but I've never tried like the Valentine's Day secret menu. Like, I think they sound really good, especially I think like the white mocha one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's like it might be too sweet for me. Like, I have a sweet tooth, and like I know the past like secret menus I've tried are like overwhelmingly sweet. So yeah, and they add up too. So they're not cheap, especially when you get a tall one too. Like, they're not cheap.
Yeah, definitely recommend getting a tall. I think she says that in the article as well. Just get a tall to try because they could be sweet. I think a cute idea for a Valentine's Day drink would be like their matcha with strawberry puree, like a matcha strawberry, something like that. So I don't know if any of you guys want to try it, but if you're looking for something not as sweet and kind of strawberry pinkish, a matcha with strawberry puree would probably be really good. Sam?
Yeah, I don't drink like, I don't go to like drinking places quite often, so I honestly, if I do go, I would never touch the secret menu. But I like the concept. I think the concept of playing into the season and what is popular in that season is really cool. That I do kind of respect that because it keeps things fresh, it keeps things interesting. And so, this time around I might have to try one of these drinks out.
Yeah, Sina?
I feel like I always shy away from ordering off of the secret menu not just because I don't want to, like, bug my barista. I always feel bad when I ask for, like, 15 million modifications on any drink. Just don't want to stress them out. But also, they're always Frappuccinos. And I'm not the biggest Frappuccino person, but when I read this article, I saw that there was, like, the refresher one and, like, the latte one. I was like, maybe I'm going to try these. Because I think it was, like, the Cupid refresher. It sounded really good. So.
Yeah, the Cupid refresher. Yeah, that sounded really good, too. And then lastly, we're going to cover an article written by staff writer Elias Alvarez Herrera on Nicki Minaj's new album. Personally, I have not listened to this new album yet. I do really like Nicki Minaj. However, I know that whole thing happened with her being anti-vax on Twitter. I thought that was really crazy, and I still like her music, but it is concerning that she is kind of anti-vax. But I haven't listened to this new album yet, but I have a lot of high expectations just because, like, her last few albums were so good. So I'm intrigued to see what this album will be like. Amaray?
I haven't listened to this new album yet. I think recently I've been more of a Cardi B fan. Don't want to upset the Barbs. I think that's what Nicki Minaj's fans are called. But I do think she's so good. I like her community and how, like, they have her flag. They really support her. But I know after she became anti-vax, a lot of people did feel kind of differently. There were memes where people were, like, adding, like, vaccine cards to the flag with her. So I thought that was funny. But I'm sure it's good.
And what do you guys think that, like, her being anti-vax and all of that happening prior to this album, do you think it'll have a huge effect on how the album does, Ashley?
Yes and no. I feel like we've, like, seen, like, a lot of people, or some celebrities are, like, anti-vax already, I guess. So I don't think it's, like, a huge surprise. But also, like, I don't think she should have, like, brought it up when her album's, like, coming out, you know? So, yeah, it makes me question a bit.
Sam?
Kind of referencing something that happened earlier this year. I feel like Travis Scott still has his fans.
Yeah.
He had his own controversy this year, and I feel like when you reach a certain point in the music industry, you just have such a big, loyal group of fans that I feel like you won't feel the effects of losing some, and you could even possibly gain some with your ideologies, and people who don't listen to your music will be like, oh, I agree with her mindset on this, let me give her music a try. So to be honest with you, I feel like when you hit a certain point, like, you don't even notice who is still listening to your music and who isn't, as long as people enjoy it.
I think going off of that, Nicki Minaj is such an established artist that she could literally light somebody's house on fire and the Barbs would be like, it's Nicki, she's allowed to do that. It doesn't really matter, like, going off of Sam's point, like, at this point, it doesn't matter what she does. She can believe whatever she wants. She's just so big and so established that she has this huge fan base that just attracts to her.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like certain celebrities, especially musicians, are immune to cancel culture. Like Doja Cat, when that whole controversy happened with her in the tiny chat rooms. Nicki Minaj being anti-vax. Travis Scott with Astroworld. Even Kanye West, who I'm sure everyone has seen and heard about in the media, are immune to cancel culture, even though they continuously berate the public and berate each other. So I doubt that, album sales will be affected by Nicki Minaj. I think the Barbs will really pull through and, like, stream her album. But I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited to listen to it. And yeah, but that concludes our newsroom episode today. If you'd like to learn more about the topics covered today, read the articles on our website, highlandernews.org, and catch us on Instagram at the Highlander UCR. Thank you for listening in, and we'll catch you next week.